What's up, Buttercups? Welcome to MB2 Underground. My name is Sarah Kiefer, aka Chief Keef.
And my name is Joe Fox, Vice President of Business Development here at MB2. Miss Kiefer, great to see you as always.
Thanks, you as well.
Looking beautiful as always.
I know, right?
It is our absolute pleasure today to welcome for the inaugural episode of the MB2 Underground podcast. Truly an OG MB2 partner. Going back to 2012, general dentist, Forney, Texas, Dr. Brooks Graves. Welcome.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Appreciate you being here.
Anytime.
All right. So real quick, before we get into the serious stuff, Ms. Kiefer's great at the serious stuff. A few questions for you.
What's
One
up?
in particular. What is your best piece of sports memorabilia?
Oh,
Or most impressive, however you want to think about it.
You
All
stumped
right,
him on
let's see.
question one.
well, when I was 18 years old,
Mhm.
I'm a big Duke basketball fan.
Duke, how did that happen?
Go sports.
Yeah.
Coach K?
Coach K. And Grant Hill. Big fan.
Grant Hill, yeah.
My parents sent me to a Duke home game.
Wow.
And
Cameron,
at Cameron Indoor Stadium.
oh,
Yep.
that's a big deal. You can't
Wow.
just get
Yeah.
tickets to that.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah. Went out there and we hung out after the game. All the players came out. Coach K came out, autographed everything I had,
Wow.
took pictures with us, and have it all framed together.
Unreal.
Second best memory. So 4 years ago, me and Justin Puckett went to a Duke, North Carolina home game at Duke. Sat about 20 rows behind Barack Obama.
Unreal.
Whoa.
It was the game Zion Williamson blew out his shoe.
Wow.
Yeah, so I have that ticket framed. I gave it to Puckett for his 40th birthday last year.
How did you guys get tickets?
Is that a big deal?
It's a huge
Very,
Whoa.
very, very, very.
Impressive.
It's not even a money issue. Like it's
It's hard. It's hard. You had to know some people.
Yeah, to know some people.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, welcome. Listen,
Thank you.
super great to have you. You have an awesomely unique perspective, being a partner since 2012. But let's back up a little bit. How did you get into dentistry?
So, I mean, that's a long story. I mean, I can give you the short version. Short version, grew up in Midwest Ohio. My parents owned a business. My mom worked for my dad.
What kind of business was it?
Computers.
Okay.
So installed like computer networks in hospitals and everything. Going to college, I thought I was going to come back and work for my dad.
Wow.
But at like 18, my parents sat us down and said, "Hey, business is done." Went bankrupt.
Wow.
They basically took our house, our cars,
Oh,
everything.
my.
Unreal.
Yeah, to auction. And so at that point, I decided I want to do something different. I want to do something that no one could take away from me.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
it became dentistry. It became one of those things that I just wasn't quite sure if I was going to do the medical field, the dental field, and it just fell in my lap that it was dentistry. I shadowed some really good dentists and fell in love with it. That's how I came in.
And fell in love with a dentist.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. My wife is a dentist too. So let's preface that.
Oh,
Female
yeah.
dentist.
Let's be clear. But it is. I think it's a really cool dynamic because there's a lot of family entanglement there with like MB2 partners, dentistry.
Yes. I
Tell us
mean,
about that.
I got me and my wife went to school together. She was a year below me. My wife's older sister and husband, they also went to our school, who are also partners with
Love
MB2. And then my wife's younger sister and husband, also partners with MB2. All 6 of us have offices all over Texas.
There's no nepotism here at all.
I love it.
None.
So who's the first in the family to partner?
Me.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah. My brother-in-law and sister-in-law were associates out in Tyler,
Which
Texas. Dustin and Ann,
Okay.
McBride. They were in Tyler, and I was finishing up my AEGD at a VA hospital, and they told us about how they liked MB2 and everything else. So we came out and interviewed. I interviewed with 3-4 groups and a couple private practices. And then me and my wife sat down and interviewed with actually Dr. V. He
Wow.
did our interview.
Oh my gosh.
And it was more like this. It
Mhm.
was a conversation. It wasn't, you need to do this. This is how we do things here. This is how we do things there. It was just a talk, and that was it. And me and my wife walked out of that interview saying, I like this guy. Let's stay with this. And so we became partners with MB2 right then and there.
That's cool. Even back in 2012, the culture is still
Oh,
thriving.
yeah. I mean, it was like, this building's huge. We were like it felt like an apartment when we were talking. And it was just Dr. V just talking to us. It was great.
I love it.
Mhm.
Love it. What was it about the MB2 model that just clicked and made the most sense at that time?
Well, for us, it was more of he wasn't looking for, people to come in and kind of run things. It was more, he was just looking for people that were going to be like more friends with him. It wasn't like, you got to do these numbers, you got to do these procedures. It was, I like your style, I like your vibes. And he just, we joined as associates. And I think I only lasted about 3 months as an associate. Wow. And then he gave me a call and asked me if I wanted to take over one of the offices. And I said, yes, for sure.
Love it. So you wanted to be an owner from early?
Yeah, right away. My wife, not so much, but yes, me. Mm-hmm.
I like that. That's the most Dr. V thing I've ever heard. I remember back in my marketing days, we got a shirt made that said, dude, just be cool. Because that was like Dr. V's standard for partnership is like, dude, just be cool.
Right. And that's kind of the ones he said to me when we were interviewing. He was like, I don't want, it's kind of like, okay, let's go back to the basketball reference. Okay. It's like, if
more
you,
sports.
Yeah, more sports. I know you want it. But it's like one of those things, you can't win a championship with five-star recruits. Mm-hmm. You want players that are going to be there for the team. Yep. And I think that's what Dr. V was looking for, was like, I'm not coming in here trying to be, I know everything, but I'll be there for if you need me for anything. So that's kind of how it became, where we became associates, and just that led to the partnership.
Yeah. You need a Grant Hill, a Leighton, Bobby Hurley.
That's right.
The whole cast, man.
That's right.
Those are the
teams.
Right. Those are the days when, folks stayed for 4 full years.
Yep.
Right?
Wow. Very true.
The good days.
So tell us, as a partner since 2012, like, what have you seen with the organization? Like, walk us through how you've seen the organization change and evolve.
I mean, I feel like I joined right when we had about 20 or so offices, which was a very, very long time ago.
Isn't that crazy to think about? We're over 720 offices.
Just walking in this building, I feel like I didn't know anybody when I walked in this building. But it's been there's never one right, I feel like, answer for anything. Yeah. And so I feel like when I came in, we have pivoted in so many directions. And I felt like in the beginning, it was like, let's throw crap at the wall and see what sticks, until we kind of figured out what our model was. And you can kind of see it over the years where it's just become a little bit more and more specific, but not office specific, but just brand specific. And I think it's been great over the number of 12 years that I've been here that we've gotten so big. I've even referred in my own classmates and roommate from dental school who just joined last year.
Oh, that's crazy. Mm-hmm. What have you seen stay the same?
Oh, definitely the culture. I mean, it's got to start at the top, and I think that's every office has to be that way too. But with Dr. V kind of being more laid back in a lot of things, and the fact that, we're doing this, this is just kind of a relaxed atmosphere, and you walk in here and there's video games and, coffee machines everywhere. It's that kind of sets the tone for how everybody should act. Yeah. Professional, you got to be, but not stuck up all the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's when I interviewed with a couple other major groups, and it was like so stuffy. I felt when I walked out of there, like if I didn't have a suit on when I went to work every day, it's not going to be me.
Wait, should I want a suit? Maybe for the next one.
I was upset I had to dress up for this. I was going to wear a t-shirt and a ball cap, but they told me I had to dress up.
Oh man, you can wear whatever you want. I love it. I love it. So how has your personal practice evolved since 2012?
Well, the difference for me is, when I first started, I mean, we didn't even have a hygienist at my practice. It was one of those, I think my office was the first office to hire a hygienist in MB2. We had the very first one. She's still there. She was actually there today. Yeah, she was there working today.
We should have her on the podcast.
We really should.
First MB2 hygienist.
That's right. Yeah, she's great. So when I started, it's been a ever evolving, rotating door of just things that we're trying at the office. But I think back in the day, we didn't have the support at MB2 to kind of make changes, or at least make meaningful changes. So now my job is very easy. If I want to make a change, I just tell somebody and they tell somebody else, and then that change gets implemented. And it's just been, for me, I mean, now these days I'm only working 1.5 days a week at my office, and I have 2 associates there who basically do everything, and I just check in a couple days a week, and that's it. It's been great.
Love it.
How have you ingrained yourself in the community in Forney? I know I sent my sister and my brother-in-law to see you. They live out in Forney, and they already, a couple of years ago, my brother-in-law got a $6,000 teeth quote. And I was like, hey man, can you just give him a second opinion? And I think he cut it by 2/3.
Yeah.
Changed his life. He was in so much pain. So your reputation in the community is really great. And what have you guys done to build that up?
I mean, out there in the beginning, as a new dentist in that town, there's probably 4 dentists in Forney when I started. There's about 12 now.
Wow.
But back in the day, I went to every event. I mean, I treated everybody I could in that town. From the mayor was one of my patients to the principals. And I mean, my favorite holiday is Halloween. And so Forney is very, very big on Halloween. And if you ever came to my office, you will see multiple trophies where we've won the Halloween events in Forney. And I think one of those even led to us winning a suite in Maui with MB2 because we won some big overall award with MB2.
I was going to ask if you won any of the Halloween contests, but I beg your pardon.
Oh my goodness, yes. I wish I had pictures of that. But I do have some video I can send you guys if you want to add to it. Because I think I did a Jurassic Park theme Halloween. I made a video. I mean, it's about a minute long. And we got a shout out from one of the directors from Jurassic Park on Instagram.
Whoa.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I feel like we need to cut that into the video.
You really should. It's really cool.
Does that crazy haunted house in Forney still exist? That's when I was a kid. I grew up here in Plano. That's where we would go.
Really?
There was a huge haunted house in Forney. That's where everybody in the metro
must be much older than me, but I'm not sure. I think I remember that one.
He said, calm down, boomer.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, wow. Awesome. How did you find your associates?
So being this close to Dallas has been very easy for me because you can live in Uptown single and you can converse to Forney, which is going against traffic either way. So it's been very easy for me. I do a lot of the marketing events with MB2 at the different dental schools and talk to the dental students. And so I do kind of get, quote unquote, my pick of the litter of associates if I need to, because you can offer that lifestyle of living in Dallas, living in Uptown, and still commuting out to a small town and working, which I think is great.
Yeah. What advice do you have for young clinicians, either in school or that are coming out?
I mean,
everything's changed.
It's changed a lot. The landscape has changed. I think when you're coming out of school and with these days, there's so much social media and things and stuff. Like the biggest advice I think I would give is to not base all your opinions off of what you're reading on these social media forums of who's who and what's what and how you should be. I think when you come out of school, you just find the best opportunity you can for you at that time. It doesn't have to be a lifelong thing of work. You want to find somebody that's nice, that's going to help you, and that's not going to degrade you at your work. I mean, I think that's the biggest thing. And that's my biggest pitch when I talk to associates is I'll treat you like my sister. If you need time off, you don't have to put in a request. If your kid is sick, I'll cover. That's the kind of biggest thing is my pitch is I'll be there to help you. We have plenty of CE, but if you need to leave, just tell me and I'll cover it. And I think that helps a lot. That's why both of my associates are women with young kids. And, if I have to go to work because their kid's sick, I'll go to work because their kid's sick. Yeah.
Well, and being with an owner with MB2 as long as you have, I'm going to put you on the spot. I want to hear your craziest experience at one of the MB2 events.
Craziest experience.
That's family friendly.
Okay. Yeah, let's keep it that. That's going to be 2017, Maui, which was our big trip after our first recap.
And it was like the 10-year anniversary.
Yeah. And since MB2. That's also the first trip where my wife and both of her sisters and their husbands were all owners.
Oh my gosh.
So that was the first trip that all 6 of us were together. And I don't even think a lot of MB2 knows this or not. I have video of it. But my wife's younger sister got engaged on that MB2 Maui trip.
I remember that. Because they had just joined. Right before that trip.
Mm-hmm. So that's a great, one of the, I don't know if I saw a crazy story, but it is the most family-friendly story. Yeah.
The most family-friendly story.
It's the most family-friendly story.
Well, it's, you're part of the MB2 family, and now MB2 is part of your family.
Very true.
Forever.
Very true. Very true.
So, follow-on question to that. You're memorialized throughout both.
Wait, is he on the wall?
Now.
I'm on the wall somewhere.
All the time. Yeah. So, what is your favorite costume party at an owner's trip? Costume event, since you love Halloween so much.
You know what? I think I have one of those photos in here. Hang on, I brought a couple of photos with me. Oh, I didn't. Let me see. Oh, yes. This is going to be the Tahoe trip. I don't know if you guys can get this on video or not, but this is the Tahoe trip where we did like an 80s theme, and that's me and my 2 brother-in-laws.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, and that was actually, I still have that outfit.
I've seen way too much of McBride in this photo. I never want to see that again.
That is a lot too.
That is my older brother-in-law, my younger brother-in-law, and I still wear that tracksuit every now and then if I have to, but that
I'm sorry, what was the theme?
I don't even remember. I think it was like 80s. Disco or something.
Ridiculousness.
80s. I think it was 80s. I'm not sure. But that was one of my favorite themed parties. And then if I go back even further than that, this goes back to Vegas, where we did dune buggies, but we did Halloween costumes.
Yes, your specialty.
Yeah, it's great. And I mean, me and my wife both went as Wonder Woman. So I had a Wonder Woman costume on. She had a Wonder Woman costume on. And I was actually very upset that I lost the costume contest for that, because Quentin Parks went as the Reno 911 cop with the really short shorts and the fake mustache.
I never saw that.
There's pictures. Yeah, Quentin Parks won that award. So I was really upset that I didn't win, because I had the hair and everything.
Wow. Yeah, you're a little hairy for Wonder Woman.
Yeah, I was. I definitely was.
That's a photo we need to dig up. Have you already planned out what you guys are doing this Halloween?
No, not yet. Not sure.
You're like, even if I did know, I wouldn't tell you.
In my phone, I do keep a note of things that I like throughout the year for Halloween ideas. So
like how some people keep baby names, you keep Halloween
I keep Halloween theme
ideas.
Yes, 100%.
I love it.
100%.
I love it. So let me ask you this: what advice do you have for potential partners, MB2 partners?
Oh, I mean, I think you really just have to talk to as many owners as you can, because we have so many people came from so many different backgrounds. I came in as an associate. So my transition into MB2 is different than, say, somebody who came in with their practice. My roommate in dental school, he just joined about a year and a half ago, Mike Rodriguez. And so he had an established practice that he brought into MB2. So I think getting opinions from everybody is good, because your office is different than my office. And I think that's what makes us great, is nobody has the same cut and paste story and cut and paste office. We're all different. And so talking to them and as many people as you can, not just in MB2, I think in every DSO, every group that you want to throw out there.
Yeah.
And not talking to you guys, but talking to the owners who actually have like super duper questions. And just when they get into it, into the thick of things, everything is always great in the beginning, obviously, but talking to people who've also been there 2, 3, 4 years is always good.
Yeah, I get a lot of really positive feedback that we give referrals for our potential owners of people they can reach out and talk to that have gone through it. We offer the same to practice staff. Even as we build up an owner transitions department, I'm trying to find associates that became owners to be those references, because there's so many people that just want to hear it. We can talk about it all day, but it's obviously different coming from the horse's mouth, not to call you a horse.
No, it's fine. It's okay. It's okay.
Felt it as I said it.
But yeah, that helps, I think, tremendously once you can get opinions from multiple different people with multiple different backgrounds. And, from everybody's stories, I do think that when you actually come into MB2 and actually dive fully into it and take advantage of everything you can take advantage of, I do think that you'll find most people are pretty happy with it. I mean, we have had some people that haven't been, which is fine. I mean, that's not for everybody.
Yeah,
I mean, for me, I couldn't do it any other way. If you asked me to go out and start something on my own right now, I couldn't do it right now.
Yeah, you're chilling.
Oh yeah. 3 kids, a wife, I'm good.
Awesome, man. Awesome. You going to be at the next owner's trip?
Yes, I will be there at the June one.
Excellent.
I've only missed one. I missed Marco Island.
Wow.
It's the only one I've missed.
It was a lot of fun, but it was very hot.
Yeah. Were you here for the very first owner's trip in Santa Fe? That was a great one. That's
more OG than I am.
Probably only like 25 of us were there. And Dr. V had it set up where we got divided into 2 teams. And we did it's kind of like a Amazing Race style vibe. It was like scavenger hunt with puzzles you had to solve.
We did something like that in Park City, right?
Yeah. I won that one too. I won the Santa Fe one too, but there is photos somewhere in here of us.
Yeah, they get competitive.
We do get very competitive, which is good. I mean, this is why I'm glad we're bringing in some older docs, because it's just easier to beat them.
Oh, you don't want to compete with the people that are worth competing with?
No.
Not that older people aren't worth competing with. Well, thank you so much for coming in.
Yeah.
It's really good to see you catch up again. Looking forward to, doing it again soon.
Yeah. Oh, you guys should. Do you want to know my favorite patient story?
Absolutely. Yes.
I got 2.
No, that's okay. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, hit me.
It's nothing with your family. Don't worry. It's
oh,
not
thank God.
Number 1, my most crazy patient story would be there was a patient who came in, had some broken fillings, wanted to be hooked up to nitrous. So hook him up to nitrous. I'm in there talking to him, trying to get him to do a crown on his tooth, right? He's arguing with me the entire time. Just put fillings, just put fillings. That patient was Dr. V. terrible patient in the chair. Great leader, terrible dental patient.
Do as I say, that was
Yeah.
man. That's awesome.
So I had to save that one. That's the one I brought in.
Oh, that's pretty special.
Those are pretty dope stories.
Yeah, it was
Awesome.
good.
It's great to have you.
Yeah, thank you
for being
guys.
here.
Thank you guys.
Time.
Appreciate it. Anytime.
Awesome. Listeners, thank you for joining us. We will catch you next time on the next MB2 Underground podcast.
MB2 out.